All right, I'm going to hit record and share my screen. All right, so we have our team call portion, and then we have our power half hour. So we're going to hear from Heather. We're going to do some announcements, and we're going to hear from Heather, and then we'll get into our power hour activities. So first up, I wanted to just say a little congratulations and recognize our top coaches from the month of June. So you can see this showed up a little bit better on my screen. For some reason, when I posted on Facebook, it looked all blurry, so I don't know how that happened. But anyways, so these are all our Success Club Success Club earners this month, which we like to call our life changers, because, you know, that's what it's all about, the lives that you are helping each month. So in our 3+ Lives Club, we have Diana Philo, who hit Success Club 12. Awesome job, lady. You are our leader, our top coach of the month. Great job. Heather Farrell hit 8. Megan hit 7, and Casey with 6. So awesome job. And also with Heather hitting Success Club 8, that makes her a success starter. And if you saw the post about her call tonight, when you are a success starter, that means that you hit Success Club 5 or above in your first 3 full months of the business. So we just had Sarah Mormello, who's on this call as well. She was a success starter last month, and now we have Heather this month. So awesome job, ladies. So you have your free tickets for Summit next year, so you definitely have to be there. We will find out. We don't know where Summit's going to be next year. It's only in Nashville. It was in Nashville last year, and this year, next year it'll change. So we'll find out in a few weeks. We had lots of people that are in the 1+ Lives Club. We had Steph, Amanda, Terry, Jennifer, Andrew, Lisa, Lola, Nicole, Kim, Heidi, Kelly, Christine, Lisa, Steph, and Kimberly. So I see some new coaches up there too. So that's an awesome job. Keep up the great work. All right, I just wanted to post this just as a reminder. This is our cover photo in Team Fit and Focus, but this is always there for you. The leaders on Team Fit and Focus chatted, and we kind of mapped out some of the groups at the beginning of next month as well. So just as a reference, so you can see, there's really always something going on. We try to schedule it that way. So there's pretty much always things to invite people to, whether it's our coach open house or coach opportunity calls, or we have our 7-day clean eating group, which is a free group, our 5-day Shakeology group. We're going to do a preview group for Country Heat, which is the new program coming out at the end of the month at Summit with Autumn Calabrese. And then we have, at the beginning of August, we have our Summer Send-Off Challenge group. And then we're going to do a specific Country Heat test group as well. So those are always there for you just to reference to see what you can be attending for our team or inviting people to. Okay, so we have Heather Farrell, who is going to be speaking to us tonight about kind of how the reason why I had approached her is just because from day one, she has plugged into our team, which was awesome. You know, she got on a new coach call, just like we just had with a couple of new coaches, Leah and Jamie, that just hopped on. She was in our business builder group when we had it before. She hopped right into that. She was in our coaches only challenge. She's showed up for all of our team calls. She's just been a huge part of Team Fit and Focus, which has been awesome. And we are, you know, growing in Canada, and she is one of our Canadian coaches, which is so cool that we have her across the United States and into Canada. So I'm so excited to hear from you. I am going to stop sharing, and we are going to hear from Heather. I'm going to mute myself. Take it away, Heather.
Okay, I have never shared my screen before, so I'm going to quickly figure this out. There. Share screen. Okay. Maybe. There we go. Okay. Easier said than done. Got it though. Okay. So I'm going to talk to you guys about a few things tonight. I'm going to share my story. I'm going to share my why I decided to become a coach, and why I wanted to push for Success Starter. And then I'm going to share how I did it and some tips for newer coaches. So I'm just going to get that because that's going to drive me crazy. Okay. So I am stay-at-home mom of 2. I have Ivy, who is going to be 3 at the beginning of August, so in about a month. And I have Beckett, who's going to be 2 in October. They are 14 months apart. I have been married to my husband for 5 years. His name's Brent, and we are super happy. We, laugh our ways through our day, which is awesome. So for a little bit of background, I struggled with my weight as a teenager and into my early 20s. The picture at the top there, I've actually never shown anybody ever before, except for my family. It's the picture that basically told me I needed to get my act together and that I wasn't living in a healthy way. So in that picture, I'm in my teens. It's kind of like mid to late high school. And I'm about 180 pounds. And I'm only like 5'2.5". So really not a healthy weight for me. But after I saw that picture, I decided I needed to do something about it. And so I started to live a more active lifestyle. I went to the gym and I tried to eat healthy. I didn't eat chips and that kind of thing all the time. And I never really saw like tremendous results, but I was able to get myself down to a weight that was much healthier for me. And then light bulb moment, before my husband and I got married, we decided to do P90X. So we saw an infomercial and ordered it off the infomercial, and I was in love. I loved it. By the time we got married, by the time the 90 days were up, we finished like 3 days before our wedding. By the time it was up, I was like down to like 129 pounds on my wedding day. I probably shouldn't have weighed myself on my wedding day just in case, but I did. So luckily it was a good result. So I was in great shape after that, and I maintained it for a while. And then my husband and I discovered that we were dealing with infertility. So then the exercising and the healthy eating weren't such a huge priority for me anymore. But luckily for us, after many fertility treatments, we conceived our daughter. And then lucky for us, surprisingly, all of a sudden, when she was only 4 months old, we conceived our son just all on our own. So then I basically had like back-to-back pregnancies. So after that, I managed to get back to my pre-pregnancy weight, but I just still wasn't really, super happy with where I was. So then I was on Facebook one day and I saw a post by Lola, my coach, about 21 Day Fix. And I had seen 21 Day Fix post before, just sort of the like really generic ones. Like, if I told you that you could, lose weight and eat whatever you want and only work out for 30 minutes, would you do it? But, seeing it, I didn't really know if, it would work for me or if it was real. But then when I saw Lola's post, which was not that style of post at all, I realized, okay, so Lola and I went to high school together. So she's got 2 young kids. So if it worked for her, if she could fit it into her lifestyle, then certainly I could too. So I contacted her and I ordered the 21 Day Fix Challenge Pack. And I joined the challenge group and I got awesome results. That's my results pictures, are the middle pictures there from my first round of 21 Day Fix. And the bottom picture is me when I'm pregnant. I'm like ready to burst with my son. But so I loved the challenge group. I loved the accountability of it. And I loved how supportive the community was. That was such a huge deal for me. So I loved that. And so that's when I decided, okay, I got to get in on this. Coaching is such a great opportunity for me to be able to help other people. And I loved that I could continue to work on my own health and fitness while motivating and like helping other people to do the same. So that's my story, a little bit about how I got started. So next, my why. So I decided to do the 21-day fix for me, basically, to get my body back to a place where I felt good about it, to be healthier, and to learn to love my body again. But why did I become a coach? So one of the reasons was to be home with my kids and to set a healthy example for them. So before I had kids, I worked in retail. I was the assistant store manager of service and operations for an Old Navy store. So I worked crazy retail hours, anything from like 5 a.m. till 10:30 p.m. And my husband is a paramedic. So we didn't have any available childcare that would work with our crazy schedules. So we kind of talked about it and decided that the best option was for me to just stay home with our kids. Staying home with my kids is honestly like my dream come true. When you're growing up, it's like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I never really knew what I wanted to be. I just knew that I wanted to be a mom. So lucky for me, it worked out. So I really want to set an example for my kids. I want healthy living to sort of be ingrained in them. I want healthy eating not to be a challenge. I want it to be just something that, comes naturally to them. And I also don't want them to think of exercise as something that they have to dread. I want them to know that exercise can be fun and you can do it just because you want to. When I'm doing the coaching and working on my own health and fitness, I know that I'm a lot happier. And when I'm happier, I feel like I can just be a better wife and mom. So let's see. So another thing is that as stay-at-home moms, I sometimes feel like we lose our sense of self a little bit. So we're doing it all for the kids. We're doing everything around their schedule. Their needs come first. And it can be really easy to put our needs and especially wants on the back burner. So becoming a coach let me feel like I was doing something for myself. And I love that I can do something for myself around their schedule. I don't have to go into an office every day to do my job. I can work away at it, while they're playing, while they're napping, or after they go to bed at night. So becoming a coach has also been a way for me to feel like I can contribute financially a little bit. I just wanted to take some of that financial burden away from my husband. Both of us realize that this is a business and that it takes time to make a business successful and profitable, but that if you work at it, it's certainly possible if you put in that time and energy. So that's what I'm trying to do. So the last, but most definitely not least, reason that I decided to become a coach was to help people. It's just something that's part of who I am. It's something that I love doing. One of the first personal development books that I ever read was called Now Discover Your Strengths. And it helps you to identify your strengths and then leverage them in your daily life to kind of help you get ahead. And then it also helps you to identify them in others if you're in like a management position. I first read it when I was still working at Old Navy. So according to this book, my strengths include things like empathy and love of learning, like among other things. But my main strength, according to the book, they call it developer. And it's something that I want to share with you. I'm going to share with you guys the description from the book because I feel like it's something that so many of you probably share with me. So I'm just going to grab the book and I'm just going to read to you the description of developer. So, developer. You see the potential in others. Very often, in fact, potential is all you see. In your view, no individual is fully formed. On the contrary, each individual is a work in progress, alive with possibilities. And you're drawn toward people for this very reason. When you interact with others, your goal is to help them experience success. You look for ways to challenge them. You devise interesting experiences that can stretch them and help them grow. And all the while, you're on the lookout for signs of growth. A new behavior learned or modified, a slight improvement in skill, a glimpse of excellence or flow where previously there were only halting steps. For you, these small increments, invisible to some, are clear signs of potential being realized. These signs of growth in others are your fuel. They bring you strength and satisfaction. Over time, many will seek you out for help and encouragement because on some level they know that your helpfulness is both genuine and fulfilling to you. So when I read that, I feel like I'm just reading the description of a Beachbody coach. It's like it's just reading about all of us. It makes me feel super proud and like I'm, doing what I'm meant to be doing. So that's why I decided to become a coach. I just feel like it's helping people is part of who I am. And if I can do that, and, try and make a business at the same time, then why not? So I've called this next slide the not so secret, because I don't feel as though I did anything different than what we're asked to do as coaches. I followed the 4 vital behaviors. So if you're hoping for some, groundbreaking, earth-shattering secret, unfortunately, I don't have one. But I can share with you what I did do. So I was already in the swing of things with my workouts from having done the challenge group and drinking Shakeology. So vital behavior number 1 was easy, be a product of the product. Vital behavior number 2, personal development, was the next one that I decided to tackle. So I'm an avid reader. So for me, it was easy to get a personal development book and start reading it. I decided to take the first 10 to 20 minutes or so, right when my kids went down for their naps in the afternoon, to read my personal development book. And it was sort of a bonus because it meant that I would be quiet for a few minutes and really let them get down for their nap. So, awesome. Since then, I've also gone to YouTube and done some more like coach specific development type stuff. I've got a list on the slide there of a few of the books and some of the videos that I like to read and watch. So the next vital behavior, I know they've changed the wording a bit, but originally it was invite. Inviting was something that I took special care with. So when I decided that I wanted to make this a business, I knew that I had to invite in a way that was genuine so that I wasn't alienating myself from people who could really benefit from my help, even if they weren't ready right now. So I put a note out on Facebook to my family. We have like a family group on Facebook. So I put a note out to them, just sharing with them that I was getting started, that I'd become a Beachbody coach, just to sort of get the word out. Then I sort of talked to my close friends and just told them how excited I was about the new opportunity that I was starting. And then I started to reconnect with people who I had lost touch with, simply just to expand my reach. In the first month, I only reached out to like 5 or 6 people. I tried to be really thoughtful about whom I reached out to. I considered people who were interested in getting fit, people who I knew had tried other programs in the past, not necessarily Beachbody programs, but they tried personal training or things like that. And then I just tried to think of people who I really genuinely, truly thought could benefit from what we have to offer. And it worked. So I reached out to the right people and I hit Success Club 5 in that first month. So since that first month, I've expanded my invitation process to include more people each month. I've gotten some no's and I've been outright just ignored by some people, which kind of sucks, but I've also planted that seed. I've got them thinking about what they want in their life, what their fitness goals are. So even though right now they might say no, or right now they might not respond at all, hopefully, I've got them thinking a little bit about it. And if they do change their mind in the future, they know that this is something that I'm involved in. And then they'll hopefully reach out to me if they decide they want to make a change. So the 4th vital behavior, the newest addition to the vital behavior family, there used to only be 3, is recognition. So with all of my challengers, I've tried to really celebrate every success with them. So like they made it through their first workout, I send them a message saying something like, awesome job today. This is just the first step and it's always the hardest. Keep it up. If they decided to participate in a challenge group and, they did their first post, I might say something like, I loved seeing your post today. I know that you're motivating other people. Awesome job. So whether it's something small, like, they followed their meal plan today, or if it's something big, like, they tried on their favorite pair of pants and they're too big, they're too loose, I want to celebrate it with them. Their success is my success. So I think that this behavior is going to be super important in terms of the business in getting referrals, because when people enjoy you as their coach, they're going to talk about it to others. So while I enjoy celebrating these successes and everything with my challengers and recognizing them for a job well done, I'm also then thinking of it from that business standpoint and thinking, okay, if I, really devote myself to them while they're with me, they're going to be way more likely to refer me to somebody else. Okay, so those are basically how I followed the 4 vital behaviors in getting to Success Club. So next I have some tips for new coaches who are just getting started, because I know I've recently been there. I know how kind of intimidating it can seem and overwhelming because there's so much information. So let me share my tips with you. So first and foremost, read through the online training. So in my first month, I played around in the Coach Online office a lot. I opened all the tabs, I followed all the links, and I tried to learn as much about it as I could. And that's where I learned about Success Starters. And as soon as I found out about it, I knew I wanted that ticket to Summit. So it sort of motivated me to read even more and learn even more to figure out how do I get there? How do I make this? So if I couldn't find an answer to something I was curious about in the online training, I would reach out to my coach. And, they've been where you were, so they probably have most of the answers for you. And if not, they have a coach who they can ask, and so on and so on. So be sure also to check out all the online coach training. It breaks down the business into action items. So it tells you, in your first 2 weeks, try and get this stuff done. In your second 2 weeks, get this stuff done. And it really lays it out for you in an easy to follow way. So my next tip, jump in with both feet. It can be scary starting anything new, but don't let your fear hold you back. If you've made this decision to make this a real business for you, you need to commit to it. So set business hours, even if it's only an hour. I do most of my work during my kids' nap time. So I get between an hour to like 2.5 hours if I'm really lucky, that I get to work. And you will be amazed at what you can accomplish in that hour if it is a focused hour, if you're focused on making the most of it. So then I work during their nap time. And then the other thing I do is I try to make some connections and do a Facebook post after they're in bed at night. So the next tip, share your journey, relates to making those Facebook posts. So you can share your journey on your personal Facebook page, on a separate page that you set up for your business, in a blog, on a web page, wherever you feel comfortable. And then aim to post at least 3 times a day. But do not make the mistake of posting only about coaching, only about Shakeology, only about Beachbody. You do not want to come across as that like the kind of person who is just like pushing the business and pushing sales on people. It's just not appealing, and it's, nobody wants that. So one of the ways that you can kind of avoid that is, even if you're posting a couple posts out of your day about Beachbody and stuff, is to use a combination of direct and indirect posts. So for example, you could post a picture of yourself, doing something fun during the week and say something like, having a blast at the beach today, but still got some work done. I love that I can do my job from anywhere, and hashtag it like coach or coach life. That's an indirect post. And then an example of a direct post would be something like, I love being a health and fitness coach. If you're curious about what that means, we have a coach open house tonight at 7. Let me know if you're interested. Hopefully you've done one like that over the last couple of days. So you got some people on our coach open house earlier tonight. So my next tip is join a challenge group, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. I am in my 4th month, just starting my 4th month as a coach. And I think I've participated in like 8 challenge groups so far. I've done fitness groups. I've done coach only groups. I've done a personal development group. And I've learned something from all of them. They've given me motivation. They've helped to solidify the habit of following the vital behaviors. And they've taught me about myself too. And a bonus, they've given me, tons of ideas for running my own challenge group too. So there's so much to learn just by participating. So next, follow coaches who are where you want to be. So even though you're a coach now, don't lose touch with your coach. They were once where you are, and they have so much invaluable information, lots of tips that they can give you. The other thing is check out posts or videos that were made by Success Club All-Stars or top coaches. Lindsay Matway has a video called Strategizing Your Way to Diamond, which I'm sure many of you have seen. I watched it multiple times. One of the key takeaways for me from that one as a new coach was she says something along the lines of, pretend you're already there. Pretend you're already a diamond coach. Don't lie to people. But, when someone has a question or someone has an objection, don't react to it as a new coach. Take a second to step back and think about it as, what would a coach who has done this a million times, what would a coach who is already doesn't need this sale, what would they say? And, if they only wanted to help. And it's something that I've really tried to incorporate into my mindset as I'm doing this. So for example, if somebody said, they have a money objection, say, it's very easy as a new coach to sort of just quickly say, okay, well, I understand, maybe next time, or, let me know when you're ready. But if you think about it as, okay, I've done this a million times, I don't need this sale, but I really do genuinely want to help this person. You might say something like, well, I understand that. But the only way that you can really be comfortable with going forward with the program is if you feel like, it's worthwhile and you're really going to get the results and it's worth the money. So if I told you that there's a 30-day money back guarantee where you can try the program, and if you don't like it, you can get your money back, would that change your mind? And then it just sort of puts it back on the person that you're talking to, rather than it just ending at their objection over money or whatever it is, whatever the case may be. So finally, my final tip is participate in the team calls, participate in the power hours, the coach open houses, the coach opportunity calls. All of the people on our team are so knowledgeable. So the more that you surround yourself with the people who are already successful in this business, the more you're going to learn. So yeah, that's what I have to say. Hopefully it was helpful and everybody got some useful information out of it. It was sort of geared more towards other new coaches that are trying to hit that success club. So sorry if I shared some things that a lot of you already know, but I just had to go with what I know. So thank you everybody so much. I was a little nervous, so hopefully I didn't ramble or speak too quickly, but yes, so thank you so much.
Heather, you did awesome. Yeah, she was definitely nervous to take on this task. So talking about facing fear right in the face, getting on this call to speak to all of us. So, but you nailed it. I loved when you talked about the book Now Discover Your Strengths and Describe the Developer. That totally is, you're right. It's totally all of us on this team talking about the developer, seeing potential in others and, really wanting to help them and coming from a genuine place. I loved all of that. So I took tons of notes. I think the new coaches on the team, this was definitely tremendous for you guys. And obviously we'll have a recording for other new coaches. So Thank you so much for sharing. I loved hearing your story as well. Um, okay, so we're going to move on to, I'm going to share in Team Fit and Focus first before I click on the Power Hour slide that I have. Just so you guys know, in our team page, well, first of all, can I just get a heads up? Can you guys see my internet? Can you see my Safari? Thumbs up if you can see it.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, awesome. Thanks. Okay, so if you go into, so here's Team Fit and Focus, and I just wanted to point out that we have, if you go to photos, and if you go click on albums, in our albums, we have, first of all, this is helpful, amazing social media posts. And I've been trying to find really great examples of posts, and I encourage all of you, if you find great examples of posts, to share them. But so this is really great for new coaches as well. You can see there's tons of examples of pictures and wording on how to share your being a product of the product, the business opportunity. This doesn't really necessarily share as much of like our everyday, like Heather, I love how Heather mentioned, like it should not be all about Beachbody, but this is kind of very creative ways to share being a product of the product, the coaching opportunity, inviting to challenge groups and whatnot. So I wanted to make sure you guys saw that. Also, I have, it has under albums, I have an album with helpful coach training slides. So these are nice too. I've any calls that I get on, and if I screenshot certain things, there's some good slides on here that you guys can take a look at. And then one more. Okay, so also like today I just made the coach open house because first of all, shout out to Diana. We had like a super emergency. Well, I did. Poor planning on my part. I have a summer insanity schedule where I do an outdoor class. So Diana saved the day, and I posted all the pictures and the posts for our coach open house, and she did an awesome job with that tonight. So thank you very much. That's there, and then our free clean eating group as well. Is there. So we do this as a team, but if you ever want to do something on your own, these things are here for you. Also in the file section, these are new. I have free clean eating group sample invites, 5-day Shakeology group sample invites, our coach open house sample invites, and sample connection messages. So these are from different coaches on our teams that have shared in the past for Power Hours, and for some of the leaders on the team that shared some that I could create these documents. So these are there for you, so you know exactly some of the things you can say. You can tweak them just to be helpful for you. So that I just want to make sure that's there, that you guys know that that's there for you. So now for our Power Hour section, so on our team call nights, we have a Power Half Hour, which is kind of down to less than that now. But so I'm going to do like I did last time, and there are 3 things for you to work on while we're on the call together. The first thing is to make connections, and that's why I showed you those files. If you need any help with ideas of making connections, keep it very simple. You're just building a relationship with someone. So make connections with 3 people. I also have on here to send 3 invites to our clean eating group. Our clean eating group starts on Monday of next week, but I'll open it up later this week to add people. We give them a meal plan. We provide all the recipes for them, and we provide daily tips and motivation throughout the week. And it's completely free. So this is a great way. I know some of you heard people talk about inviting is difficult to do. Well, this is a great way to get better at it because this is a completely free group. And then the last thing, we also have our 5-day Shakeology group. So, and I showed you those different examples of the posts. There are some Shakeology posts in there. I would love for you to create a post for our 5-day Shakeology post. And my suggestion would be, today is Tuesday, I would post it tomorrow evening to see if you have interest in our 5-day Shakeology group. And for that, you can either provide them with samples if you have samples, or they can get a super sampler right off the Team Beachbody website from you. And we will provide a bunch of different recipes for them to try, share a bunch of different ingredients and their benefits of Shakeology. And then each day we have daily posts, like a video, a podcast, just so people understand the true value in Shakeology and don't look at it as just another protein shake, which many of us hear. So, and we're all on here. So if anyone has any questions and needs to ask any questions, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask away. Okay, so this portion of the call, we're just kind of all going to be muted and hanging out and working away. Good? Okay, I'm going to post that Power Hour slide in our team page right now. Okay.
Michelle, I'm going to go, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for everything.
You're welcome, Leah. You're very welcome. Thanks for hopping on to the new coach call and this call. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye, Leah.
Bye.
All right, we're gonna wrap things up. It is 10 o'clock, so thank you for joining us. And Jamie hung in there the whole time for the new coach call and our team call, so awesome. Do you guys have any questions or anything before we wrap it up? No? Okay. All right, thank you as always for getting on. I will post the recording for those of you that missed it and want to catch the recording. Have a great night, and we
Thank
will
you.
see you guys in 2 weeks for our next Power Hour. And actually, Diana is going to be leading the Power Hour in 2 weeks from tonight. So, yay. Okay.